Hi everybody. I see that the previous topic was really interesting for everyone, so I will try to put some information about this part in my presentation as well. But let's see. Let's start from the simple part. Let me introduce myself. My name is Andrew, and I'm a CDO at ADAS and at PRSTAI. This is another tool that we created. So this is like internal development tool to work with the different AI technologies. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how to use AI, how to pick the right technologies, how to reshape your development flow using the new generation of AI, new generation of technologies. Yeah, and let's start from the early beginning and let's get deeper into the AI and what is that in general and what does it mean for you. So the first part is pretty simple. I'm definitely sure that everyone here knows what generative AI is, right? So this is a bunch of tools that can help your business in a way of creating a new and probably some sort of unique images, text, music, and other stuff. And another part, this is a large language model. So this is something that you know about the OpenAI part, about ChatGPT 4, 3.5, and so on. And not only OpenAI, of course, because many companies work in this direction as well. But interesting point here is to see how this part helps your businesses, right? Because many of you have some sort of development team, some sort of products, and it's important to understand how you can use new capabilities of the AI in your products. So let's start from the simple thing, right? Like enhancing efficiency in games development with LLMs. And this part, just a brief information about how you can improve your business, how you can use LLMs in your businesses, how you can improve your games, what sort of information you can gather, and starting from the simple thing like streamlining game dialogues and narrative creation, to automated content generation for NPCs. Probably this is the most interesting part for everyone because this is a common situation in the game development when you created some unique product, you put some interesting ideas into your game environment, into your game, but then somebody who is faster pass your game, buy your game, then play and tries to put some information for everyone else about your game, right? And the uniqueness of your game can be lost, right? So another one part, this is the simple, of course, about localization, translations, and in-game text, and other things like for bug reporting and other stuff. This is part that relates to the LLMS part. Also, another direction is how you can use the generative AI to empower your game development flow. So, for example, you can create dynamic adaptive levels, right? You can somehow to customize your quests or puzzles or some challenges. So this is another common case, right? When you put interesting things, you try to hide some information, you are expected that the player will try to find, to retrieve some information from the NPCs inside the game, but then somebody just put like a step-by-step instruction and some player can just use this instruction and get all benefits inside your game. But you can customize this flow and improve the interesting, parts of the game and improve the uniqueness of experience for each player. Let's move forward. And of course the part that relates to the business itself, because the game itself is pretty good, it's interesting, game developers like games, players like games, but we also need to understand how we can win exactly in the business direction. And if you're talking about the business direction, of course, this is reducing development time through AI generation assets and content, because you can delegate some probably complex task or probably some creativity task, right, to the AI and get an idea. So, for example, you can use simply Midjourney or even ChatGPT to generate some content and then use it like your inspiration or for your game designer or for your even development team, because you don't need to go to the Stack Overflow or somewhere, right? You can just use the chat in this case. Optimizing resources allocation and project management with LLMS. This is another pretty huge topic, and right now a lot of tools, a lot of startups that tries to create some sort of tools that helps to optimize your business. I mean, from the development perspective, from the delivery perspective, right? How to communicate inside the team, how to store the information about your game, how to store the information about your documentation, about your decision, and this is part relates exactly to the resources allocation and project management and so on. And once again about the localization and translation and calls with AI assistance, right? So you can just use AI and translate to any language your beautiful game just to provide the target market you want, to provide some sort of feeling about your destination, about how do you feel your translation should be, right? But this is a pretty simple part, and then we're coming into the development. And when we come to development, we need to understand how to use these tools, because right now a lot of investment was done into AI part. A lot of companies, large companies invested in AI. We already heard today about Google Cloud. We already heard about other tools that also really productive, really interesting. But how to pick the proper one, how to select exactly what you need. And in this case, you need to understand a set of steps that you have to follow to introduce AI into your product. They are pretty simple and they are really straightforward. This is starting from the pre-created knowledge base, because you need, for example, if you're talking about the NPCs, like in this example, we need to understand the history of each NPC, right? The world information, what kind of rules in this world are, right? And everything else that relates to the specific character, to specific behavior, to specific location, and so on. Also, as I said, yeah, you need to create a unique story for each character. And then this is a part that relates exactly to the LLMS. You need to prepare a set of prompts, because the prompt is exactly the thing that drives your AI. Because when you have beautiful knowledge base, when you have a beautiful set of data, that's awesome, but you need to say something to your AI model, to your LLM model, and say what exactly you want to receive in the positive scenario, in the negative scenario, and in other corner cases. And then, when everything is ready, you just need to use an API and connect it inside your application via HTTP or MQTT or any other WebSockets. It depends on the specific model you want to use or on specific tool you want to integrate. And let's take a look on this challenge from another side, right? Because when we start to create a game, we probably in the most cases you just wanted to sit near your computer, you have an idea, you're starting with some coding, right? You have some imagination of how it should be. But in general, if you want to build a successful game, if you want to make it proper from the monetization part, you need to think and you need to create the design, architectural design, of course, of your solution. And here, like a common practice, reference to TOGAF, reference to the SEI, we have to work with some sort of constraints, some sort of quality attributes, some sort of business goals, and of course user scenarios. This is a set of information that you should take into account when you start to select the specific tool. And based on this information, you then able to search in the internet and find the specific startup, solution, or AI tool, or anything you want. The important thing here is about the timeouts, limits, RPS, and other things, because many solutions that exist in the current environment, unfortunately, were limited in this direction, because this is money and this is a cost of the infrastructure and other things. And many solutions will not allow you to do million requests per second, or even thousands of requests per second. And this might be a problem for your game if you're targeting on the pretty huge number of users. And of course, the second part, this is about the support, because of course, if you rely on the third-party tool, you need to make sure that they are able to respond to you, that you will receive the information, the right and proper information in time, because when your players are unhappy, you're losing money, right? And this is a big problem. And of course, the customization and other topics, because this is like the whole set of information that you need to take into account. And so this might be like a corner case for your specific game. So, and then when you understood what you are going to build, what you want to utilize, you should ask yourself pretty simple and straightforward question. What kind of solution I'm going to use? Ready-made or custom solution? And this is the main problem not only in game development but in any sort of business, because custom solution, there's always resources, there's always investment, there's also about the development, and you can lose the time to market window, right? If we're talking about the ready-made solution, we can achieve time to market, we can simply integrate it into our game, we can easily integrate it with other, I don't know, in-game modules and utilize this from early beginning. But in this case, you can lose uniqueness of your game, you can lose full control over the data, you can lose then abilities to scale in your game and so on. So, yeah, and here's the information. This is just like a decision tree of how to pick the proper tool. If we're talking about the custom-made, I'm not talking about what you need to train your own model, you need to create your own solution from early beginning. But you need to use the proper tools in this case. I think that everybody here heard about LangChain, of course. This is probably the main tool that's currently used across all AI products, because they provide a lot of useful stuff for prompt management, for integrations, for utilizing some sort of features that require like chaining, of course. If you need, go to the one model, then to another one, and then prepare some sort of complex result, right? And there are another pretty interesting tools that just come to the market. For example, Character AI, they are really in the beta testing. They have a pretty huge library of different characters. You can talk to each one, you can use them, and as far as I know, they are going to provide API, and then you will be able to utilize the specific character already pre-trained, already with a history, already with information, and empower your game with new characters, for example, for random events inside your game, or for some sort of, I don't know, challenges that you want to pass to the user itself, to the player. And in world, to be honest, completely interesting and really good tool for creating some sort of character with his story, with his some kind of advantages, disadvantages, their profile and so on. And then, yeah, you absolutely can use their API and use their stuff. But once again, if we're talking about the ready-made solution, we should take into account that characters are already built in, that a lot of stuff already built in, and you are unable to customize, improve, edit, or build on top of that your own knowledge base or your own data or anything else. And in this case, you may take a look on another part, like a custom-made solutions, and just use the almost ready-made tool, but for the specific cases, like for example PRSTI. Yeah. So PRSTI, this is a tool that can help you to manage prompts. This is a tool that can manage your connection to any AI model, because this is just a quick example we had with one of our customers. He tried to use many LLMs, many completely different tools for text generation, because some of them provide good results, someone not, and it really depends on your goal, what would you like to achieve, and then you should have an ability to test different solutions. So in this case, you will be able with the PRSTI just to, with no code, with just like some sort of UI to connect to any AI tool, like for example, Hugging Face, OpenAI, what else? AI 21 Labs, right, as far as I remember, or your custom-made, your private hosted solution. The interesting thing here that LangChain and PRSTI, they both self-hosted. That's really important for your infrastructure. And in this case, you are just one owner of your data, and you are just the one owner of everything that's going on inside your infrastructure. And also, in this case, you will be able to switch, for example, between OpenAI, then your private tool, then once again OpenAI, then your private tool. And you can decide what exactly is better for your game and for your specific scenario. What else? So that's it, probably. Yeah. So, if you have any questions, probably we can ask.
Thank you, Andrew. So maybe there are any questions? Andrew? No?
What was the second tool? LangChain and
PRSTI.
PRST.
Yeah.
Could you spell it?
PRST, like alphabet sequence. Anything else?
If there is no questions, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
We can proceed to the next speaker.